Hey, y'all, it's your girl Candy J. I am coming to you. Sorry, something just popped up on my screen. So I'm trying to get rid of some things on here. Hold on one second, guys. While I'm trying to fix it, guys, tell me where you are watching from. Tell me where you are watching from. Okay, listen. So as you can clearly see, I'm sitting in here in my office in in Arlington. You can see the address on the screen: 1601 East Lamar, Suite 204 in Arlington, Texas 76011. If you are tuning in for the first time and you do not know who I am, my name is Candy J. I am a certified clinical sexologist at the Dr. Rachel Institute and the American Colleges of Sexology and the American Board of Sexology. And I specialize in putting the oohs and the ahs back into your relationship. But I do this by helping you to foster better communication. And I do these through one on ones, group counseling, virtual counseling, seminars, workshops. So I specialize in prenatal and marital counseling, sex education for all ages, postpartum, dating after divorce, life after infidelity, and so many, many more things that I can put on the list. That's just to name a few. But today, I'm not going to stay before you long because I want to quickly talk about identifying your emotions. Do you have a difficult time identifying your emotions? Okay. So every time I talk about emotions, it always makes me think of the song "Emotions Make You Cry Sometimes." All right, all right, all right, right? Okay. That tells you how old I am. I am definitely 40. Okay, so if you have a hard time identifying your emotions, there are a few reasons, right? We were made to think that our feelings don't matter. Did you ever grow up in a household where you were just told, stop all that crying, I'm gonna give you something to cry about, or suck it up, boys don't cry, man up, all of those different type of things. So we were made to fear expressing our emotions, right? Or we were made to feel guilty if our emotions or desires were inconvenient on other people. So for instance, making somebody else feel sad because you're sad. That has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them and not being able to handle their emotions, right? Or they weren't taught those things. So we were discouraged from kind of feeling our emotions or specific emotions, those of sadness, anger, happiness. There are so many things that I can think of: jealousy, rage. All of these are feelings, right? So we were really conditioned. And so when we're conditioned, some people stop expressing and then they often repress your feelings. And when you repress your feelings, that means you're not showing anything, you don't know how to deal with it. And then some people take it even a step further and they stop allowing themselves to feel anything. So have you ever talked to a man or a woman romantically and you're like, dang, they are so cold? Like there's nothing in their eyes, you don't see anything, like their answers are really blunt and straight to the point, and it's like cutthroat, and you don't think that they care about anybody's feelings. A lot of times that is a defense mechanism that they have built up because someone didn't allow them to share their feelings and express their feelings. And this can lead to a lessened ability to even recognize how you feel. Can you have you tied those two things together? So listen, if you're feeling anything that I'm putting down right now, give me a hashtag number one so that I know that you're with me, right? So some people weren't taught about their emotions, even if they feel things deeply. They can't clearly identify it. It feels overwhelming. They feel out of control. And so, in order to control all of that and to order to maintain order in their life, they again go back to repressing their feelings or stopping them from allowing to feel anything at all. So, a couple of things. In order to regain your power, to direct your emotional state, first of all, you need to, number one, notice that you're experiencing an emotional state. That's number one. Um, and it changes physiologically, psychologically, but a lot of times we feel it in our bodies when our emotional state. I can speak from experience that sometimes when I get anxiety or of this feeling of overwhelm or fearful about something, that I get a knot in the pit of my stomach. Anybody else experience that? Hashtag number two. If you've ever felt that knot in your stomach when you can feel your emotional state, or I get this warm feeling all over my body when I'm nervous about something. Or sometimes it's a spiritual thing for me. It just depends on what it is. So then number two, you need to identify what it is. In that emotional state that you're having right then and there, you need to identify what it is. Am I happy? Am I sad? Am I mad? Am I glad? Whatever the case may be, you need to identify what it is. And then part of self-awareness means know what to expect. So what did I tell you? When I get anxious, I have this overwhelming feeling, this knot in the pit of my stomach, and I can identify that I'm anxious, that I'm fearful about something, and I know what to expect. I know my stomach is going to be a little upset for a few more minutes, and I know that if I do some deep breathing exercises and do breath work, that I will be okay. Or sometimes I just need to cry it out. Are you a crying it out person? Are you a punch the wall person? Are you a journal person? Are you, when you're in an emotional state that you don't know how to control, how do you deal with it? Figure those things out so that you can have coping mechanisms for them. And then know how to influence a new emotional state. Okay, so that's what I was talking about just now, right? You want to go from being angry or sad or hurt or whatever the emotional state that you're in, and you want to be able to deal with it. So what do? I know that I can journal it out and write out my feelings. I know I can call my tribe and talk about my feelings. And when I talk about my feelings, I'm changing my emotional state. Now I have come to a calm state that now I'm happy. Or now I've gone from fearful and anxious to sure that about what my situation is, and know that I can trust and know. Or if I'm feeling sad, whatever is making me sad, I know I can change that by X, Y, and Z, whatever the situation is, right? And so a lot of times, right, I was talking about how an emotional state. So think about this: the state, that feeling, is physiological, right? So it has something to do with your body, what you might be feeling, a headache. You might feel a knot in the pit of your stomach. You might feel an ache in your body. Everybody has some type of physiological feeling in their body when they feel different emotions: happiness, sad, anger, jealousy, rage, whatever it is, right? And then the emotion, the psychological thing, that label that we've put on there, right? Is it's two different things, right? So it's a feeling, and then it's that label, that interpretation of what that feeling could possibly be, and identifying it through your body, right? So in our thought process, we really need to go, what's the situation? What's my interpretation of that situation, that thought process? Now I've gotten a label, right? I've gone from a situation, interpretation, a state, and then the interpretation. Okay? So I've gone from a situation, an interpretation, a state, and then another interpretation. So it's that thought and that label, that situation, that thought, that emotion, that label. Okay? And so we know that emotional states affect our body, right? So there are a lot of things that I've talked about in this live so far. So if you know that your emotional state, especially when it comes to those ones that are aggressive, right? We know that sadness evokes strong emotions out of us, and it changes our whole demeanor, behavior. When you, anybody that's actually friends with me knows that if I'm happy for other people or I'm happy about something, I'm gonna do a little happy dance, right? But when I'm sad, I get recluse and I don't really want to talk to too many people. And if I do talk to you, it's very strategic on who I talk to because I know who can handle my emotional state. Okay. So I hope that this live has definitely helped you a little bit with emotional state and helping you to identify and regain your power to direct your emotional state. Because there's some things that you gotta ask yourself, and there's ways to redirect yourselves, and that's what we were talking about, redirecting yourselves. So again, if you want to regain your power to direct your emotional state, you want to notice what you're experiencing, you want to identify what it is, you want to know what to expect, and then know how to influence a new emotional state. If this live helped you in any other way, in any way at all, or you know somebody that needs to hear this, guys, don't be stingy. Like, share, ring that bell. And if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you're watching from, share, share, share so that it maybe helps someone else. You know what the goal is with me and Candyology Coaching Services is to save relationships and save lives, whether that's a friendship or romantic relationship. Have a great day.